Greater MSP Business is brought to you by the Carlson School of Management at the University of Minnesota.
Our new stadium in Minnesota is as bold as they come.
The big sound of the Minneapolis video pitch for the Super Bowl had a big payoff. The city will host the Super Bowl in 2018. Now, we've hosted football's big game once before. It was 1991, and the place was the Metrodome, a setting that seems quaint, actually, compared to the stadium that'll be the scene of the action in 4 years. Mike Langley is joining us now this morning. He's president of Greater MSP. He was part of the team that made the pitch in Atlanta. You were in the room. I know we've gone over this ground before, but it's probably worth revisiting. What did it feel like to hear that the Twin Cities got the Super Bowl?
Cindy, my heart absolutely jumped out of my chest. It was such a time of pride, I think, and excitement, which is continuing. I think we all have seen the community respond so positively and effectively to this win, to putting ourselves back on that national and global map as the host city for Super Bowl 52. So it was very, very exciting. Well,
we all know that the brand new stadium was a major factor, maybe perhaps contributing the biggest factor in getting the stadium here. But what else do you think made a difference to the stadium committee?
Well, to the NFL, yeah. I would say certainly the NFL has a very, very complex and very detailed process that all the competing cities. Remember, we were one of 3 finalists. Back last fall, there were 12 cities originally, or regions originally part of the bid, but we became a finalist of 3. And then 170, 180 pages of requirements that we had to respond to. The opportunity to be there in Atlanta to see the presentation of the 3 cities and the 15 minutes of fame that we had an opportunity to present, which was, of course, Richard Davis, Doug Baker, and Marilyn Carlson Nelson, who chaired it. Richard and Marilyn gave the presentation. But this whole process was driven, number one, by the fact that our state, our community came together and got that stadium done, so that both the public and the private investment that was made was very impressive to the NFL. And so, as you said, that was the number one thing that stood out. Number 2 was the fact that we really put together a bid that was, I think, more impressive and had more involvement, community involvement over a broad area. Remember, this is the Minnesota Super Bowl. We expect to have people from all over the state involved, and certainly from within the metropolitan region. Venues are all over the area. So it's a wonderful way for us to show what a great place this is. And when you look at our economy today, I think it was very impressive to the NFL when they saw the strength of our business community, the strength of our community in general, our philanthropic community, our neighborhoods, that all of those things added up to make this a wonderful decision on their part.
Is there give and take in the negotiations when you talk to the Super Bowl committee? If they say, we want this, and you say, well, we can't do this, but we would prefer to do this, are those kind of negotiations going on in any way at all?
They will go on now, actually. For the next 3 years, we'll be working in close partnership with the NFL and the host committee that will be put together here over the next year. There will be a lot of give and take in terms of how things are going to get done and how the partnership will work most effectively. As part of the bid, it was pretty cut and dried. We had to commit that we would do certain things, and knowing that once we were successful, that there would be a real true partnership between our region, our state, and the NFL as this event unfolds over the next 3 years.
Now, all along, you mentioned that there were 3 competitors for this game, and New Orleans was the one that was rumored to be the one to get it because it would be the final Super Bowl for the owner of the New Orleans team, and they didn't get it. Was that a red herring, or was that a genuine shockaroo to the city of New Orleans?
Well, I think both Indianapolis and New Orleans thought that they had the upper hand. New Orleans, because they won it 10 times in a row. This was their 11th finals. They expected to go 11-0, and the media certainly thought that. When we first got to Atlanta, the 3 war rooms, they're called, were populated with the committees, and all the media, all their attention was going to New Orleans and Indianapolis because New Orleans was the odds-on favorite. And Indianapolis was a very successful Super Bowl a few years ago, and so they've been kind of held out as the gold standard. So, you know, we were kind of like the underdog, so to speak, which was, that made it even more rewarding.
They never saw us coming. They never saw us coming.
That made it more rewarding. And so finally, when we were announced, and of course all the media then moved from New Orleans and Indianapolis to where we were, and it was very gratifying to know that we had been the underdog and we pulled it out.
What does it do for the Greater MSP mission to have this there? Some of this is obvious, but there are some subtleties involved in having this kind of prestigious game in town.
It's huge, number one, just from the standpoint of media exposure. We will get hundreds of millions of media exposures between now and when the game actually occurs from not only local and national media, but this is a global event. So we will see the words Minnesota, Minneapolis-Saint Paul, the greater Minneapolis-Saint Paul region. That will be out there for people to understand all the positive aspects of this region. Those beauty shots from the blimps, from airplanes, from helicopters, it means a lot because it puts us in people's minds. And then that gives us an opportunity as the Economic Development and Marketing Organization to follow up on those inquiries, on those media reports, and to tell our story more effectively about what a great place this is, what a great talent pool this is of great workers and great companies, and that it's a great place for investment and jobs to be created.
Now, we've just got a few seconds left here, but you're off to the Ryder Cup in a couple of weeks here. What's that going to do vis-a-vis coming back here in a couple of years? Yeah,
well, certainly another one of those national, global events that we want to take advantage of and leverage. In this particular case, you know, one of the duties of a region that hosts an event like the Ryder Cup is to actually welcome in this case, the Europeans to Minneapolis-Saint Paul and to our region as part of the previous event, this case, the one in Glen Eagles here this year in September. So, but we're using it also, we're leveraging and using it actually as a marketing opportunity to invite our current prospects, corporate real estate executives and site location consultants that we work with in Europe all the time to join us in Glen Eagles for this event and have an opportunity to actually spend time working on projects. So it's a working trip.
Yeah, well, just getting maybe a little time on the links, though. You probably earned that. Mike Langley from Greater MSP, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Cindy.
Okay.
Keep it up. You're doing a great job with the show.
Thank
we really
you so much.
appreciate it.
And we'll be right back.